Well, greetings everyone, and welcome once again to another Thursday night. Excuse me. Wow, really went way back there. Welcome to another Wednesday night show, the Sports Crib. We're a little short-handed tonight, as you heard last week. Dave will be traveling. Also, we have Reggie just getting back from his stint in Europe. Uh, you can catch Reggie this Saturday, actually, on our Sports Crib Fantasy Show, along with our guys from Smash Up Sports, the new fantasy platform out. You can visit with the Hawk, and the Hawk will tell you all about the latest in fantasy sports news and athletics. Hopefully, we'll see Bill a little later on. I was expecting Demetrius. Mr. Scott will probably sneak in the back door, maybe before I get finished going through all the topics. Um, uh, let's see, what else? If you missed it last week, Don announced that he was getting married. One of his uh, fellow teachers. Uh, so we wish Don all the luck in the world and much happiness to him and his upcoming nuptials. Let's see who else is on the radar here. Jeffrey Fan. With all the news with the ACC, we know basketball will be starting soon. So I'll be reaching out to Jeffrey Fan probably for next week's show. And let's see. Um, if you know any basketball fans or fiends or uh, fanatics, let us know here at the Sports Crib. You can contact me at James E. King III at gmail.com, and we'll try to line them up for a guest. I'm especially looking for Knick fans, Utah Jazz fans, uh, and Washington Bullet fans. With that being said, my Yankees came back in the last game. The bats finally woke up. Is it too late? Well, you're down 3-1. So you did avoid the sweep, but a series loss is a series loss. Once again, we have seen Aaron Judge and his postseason problems. Uh, but, I mean, the guy's Aaron Judge. What can you do? If you go back to a question that I originally asked, uh, would the MVP be Judge, Otani, or the field? And as you know, most of my guys said the field, and it seems like Freddie Freeman hurt him. Uh, I think, especially right now, if the Dodgers win, of course, Freddie has to be the uh, outright front runner. So it should be interesting to see. I'm not sure. Is there a game tonight? Let's look it up and see here. Is there a game tonight? Just going to take a quick look here. ESPN will have it right there across the top if there is. Yeah, okay. Right now, it's the bottom of the third. I'm looking at 2 outs here. Uh, and the Yankees are up 5-zip. We have back-to-back homers. So they do seem to be in control of Game 5. We'll see how things look at the end of the inning. And let's see if my Yankees can come back and make a series out of it. So evidently it's 2-3-2. Yes. So it looks like the Yankees have a spark of life left. Uh, I was hoping that we'd get a Sue's corner in from Dave. But I am looking and I don't see one. So no Sue's corner tonight. uh, but as going through my first topics here, which was about Freddie Freeman and the Dodgers taking the 3-0 lead, and would they sweep? Well, that question was answered. There is no sweep. Looks like maybe tonight the Yankee bats will prevail, and we'll have a 3-2 series going back to LA. So looking forward to that. Now, let's see. The next thing is our NCAAF. And we've had some shuffling there. I'm looking at my college football Cinderfella, the story of the season. Of course, Kennesaw State pulls off one of the season's uh, uh, biggest upsets. Uh, the 27 and a half point underdog beat unbeaten Liberty 27 to 24. Um, I guess this is the biggest upset since Notre Dame was upset. So, you can't keep putting these little schools on your schedule and thinking that they're just going to roll over. It's any given Saturday here on the college football circuit. So now, according to ESPN uh, writer Jake Trotter, Penn State's tight end Tyler Warren has drawn comparisons to the Chiefs' tight end Travis Kelsey. Now, uh, I wanted Bill and Dave in for this comparison, just knowing that Dave is a Penn State fan and that Bill, of course, scouts everyone in the country. So I was hoping to get them either or in, but I got neither. So a lot of people are using the tape of Travis Kelsey when he was in high school. Coincidentally, if you didn't know by now, Travis Kelsey is from Clownland. Grew up in Clownland and uh, made his way all the way from Clownland to uh, being one of the best tight ends in the National Football League. But there are tapes of a young Travis Kelsey Duncan, when he was in high school, just showing the sheer athleticism, showing some of his football, his baseball prowess, which has also suited him very well in the NFL, especially catching footballs from a knuckleballer like uh, Patrick Mahomes. So there are comparisons out here for this young about this young man in Travis. When I get one of my experts back here, I'm sure we'll find out much more about this young man. Let's see, who else are we going to talk about? Oh, big matchups this weekend. We have number 4, Ohio State, visiting number 3, unbeaten Penn State. Now, DraftKings sports book um, has Penn State plus 3.5, and the over under is 45.5. I am taking Ohio State and the under, and anybody out there in the private chat, if you want, you can give me your picks, and uh, I'll discuss them. Let's see who is in our chat room right now. Okay, well, if you're not in the chat room and you're on either YouTube or LinkedIn, just go to our chat room, put your comments in the chat room, and I'll answer any I can while I'm uh, on the show right now. Okay, so getting back to Ohio State and Penn State. Uh, Dave had made a statement a couple of weeks ago that uh, he thought Penn State was a little overrated. And I think at that particular time they were number 4. Um, Here's the thing that I'm kind of skeptical about. Uh, and I've already made my pick. So, uh, you know, I have faith in Ohio State. But once again, this is a Big Ten conference game. This, for want of a better word, is a rival. Um, the proximity of the two schools, Pennsylvania, Ohio, I could go on and on. Um, and Penn State, when there's a solid team, really play us tough. There's a reason why they're called linebacker U. Um, in this particular case, I think that if Penn State takes an O, it probably won't knock them out of the top 10. Maybe at the very worst, a number 8. That's as a one-loss team. They could drop out of the top 5. But Ohio State, as a 2-loss in conference team, could be on the outside looking in, even if they ran the table. So hopefully my guys down there in Columbus are motivated, and we'll certainly see this Saturday. Shout out to the Buffaloes and Coach Prime. His Buffaloes will have a bowl bid after only 2 years under Coach Prime. So congratulations to Coach Prime uh, uh, with possible two Heisman Trophy contenders in the top 10. But, you know, uh, we'll see how that goes. Travis Hunter and his son Shakur, Shakur are both ranked in the top 10 as far as Heisman Trophy contenders. I think Travis is number 5, and I want to say Stevens is 9 or 10. But congratulations to the Buffaloes. We look forward to seeing you in the college postseason. Also, while we're talking about matchups here, we also have, I think it was Navy that was just soundly dropped from the ranks of the unbeaten. Now we have Army is still one of the service teams that remains unbeaten. Another matchup this week that I am looking forward to is number 18 Pitt, 7-0, against number 20 SMU, who are 7-1. Pitt is getting 7.5 points. And this is because, as of now, they are not sure whether Pitt's transfer quarterback Holstein is going to be able to play. Right now, they're giving Pitt 7.5 points. The over/under is 58.5. And as I said, these are the odds right now with Holstein possibly unsure and unable to play. So I'm going to take Pitt and those 7.5 points, but I'm going to take the under if Holstein isn't playing. If the odds remain the same and Holstein is playing, I'll take Pitt, but then I'll take the over. So we'll see. Does Pitt stay unbeaten, and can it hold serve at 7-1? We'll see. Will they just change places? One moves up to 18, and the other one falls back. Okay. There was another question that I was going to ask the panel, and I'm going to have to hold this question off till next week because I think it warrants a discussion. And I noticed this as I was going through the different stats tonight when I was talking about the different games. And I've noticed how many quarterbacks are throwing at least 35 passes or more per game. And my question was, is this cutting down on quarterback efficiency? You see guys throwing 35, 37, some 40, 50 passes per game. And, a lot of these passes are uh, uh, medium passes, medium to short passes, uh, low risk. I'll put it like this. I think low risk passes, screens, uh, and so forth, short hitch routes, things like that, rather than a lot of down the field. Now, I'm not saying that we don't have a lot of quarterbacks that throw down the field. That's not what I'm saying. But when you'll notice as I go through some of these statistics here, as I said, we have a lot of quarterbacks throwing right around 30, 35 passes. But some of these games only result in one or two touchdowns. So, is this, like I said, a lack of quarterback efficiency, or is this due to the scheming of the offensive coordinators uh, more trying to put their stamp on the game rather than playing with the talent that they have? So this particular question, I'm going to throw back in the box and hope some of the guys will answer it. So let's talk about some of the games that happened last week. Thursday night game, we had the Rams quarterback Matt Stafford celebrate the return of his wide receivers Puka Nakua and Cooper Cup. The result was 4 TDs. The Rams beat the Vikings 30-20. The Vikings wide receiver Jefferson was he caught 8 of the 9 targets his way for 115 yards, and the Vikings are now 2-2 after that 5-0 start. Not sure I'd hear Mr. Scott tonight, but maybe we'll see. So 5-2 Vikings, 5-2 Packers. The matchups are going to get interesting, very interesting. So Sunday, let's go on to Sunday. Bills quarterback Josh Adams, he threw 2 touchdowns, and running back James Cook rushed for 2 more. And the Seahawks are now 2-3 at home after a 31-10 loss to the Bills. We'll get Bo in here to talk about his Seahawks. Hopefully, now I think they have an upcoming matchup with the 49ers, and we'll see how close that division gets. Also, let's see, we had the Saints, almost the Aints. They're getting there. They're not quite the Aints yet, but they're getting there. They've lost. I think what 5? Well, they're 2-6, so they've lost 6 in a row after coming out of the gates blasting. But hey, the Saints got a lot of injuries, so they got beat by the Chargers very slightly, 28-6. Chargers rookie Lad McConkey. He was 6-6, 111 yards, and 2 TDs. This kid might be someone to look out for. Okay, the Chiefs quarterback, I'm going to start calling him Magic Patrick. Magic Patrick Mahomes was 27-38. See, here's a good example, over 35 attempts. Patrick was 27 for 38, 262 yards, 2 TDs, and an interception. The Chiefs D had 5 sacks, and the Chiefs are now the only undefeated team left. They're 7-0. So they beat upon the Raiders 27-20. The Chiefs have a way of the score looks very close, but the games are not as close as some of these scores appear. Smoke and mirrors. Okay. Starting quarterback Jordan Love was watching on the sidelines as the Packers prevailed over the Jaguars 30-27. Packers are now 5-2 with a 4-game winning streak. uh, on headline course to meet those Vikings. Okay. Broncos rookie quarterback Bo Nix. He threw 3 touchdowns in a 28-14 win over the Panthers. Uh, I think I'm very surprised with the play of Bo Nix. I think we all had, our shits and giggles about his age when he came in. But Bo is proven to be very formidable out there. And I think it's only because of Caleb and Jaden that we are talking more about Bo Nix. The world's tallest midget, he rallied his Cardinals from 2 scores down uh, to beat the Fins 28-27. Uh, Tua in his games back was 28 out of 38, 238 yards, uh, 3 fumbles, and a TD. Showing the rest of why he hasn't been back. Uh, Another question I want the panel because it has come up. Uh, when does the NFL step in to save a player from himself? Now, I'm not saying that this is the case with Tua as of yet, but, excuse me, I should be doing a commercial with Sprite. Anyway, when does the liability factor for the NFL kick in? I'll discuss that with the boys when they come back. So, with May out, the soft Pats actually uh, dealt ayahuasca their fifth straight loss. Uh, the Pats' backup, Jacoby Brissett, led the Pats to 2 fourth-quarter scoring drives and to a 25-22 win over the Not Yets. So, can you still point your fingers at Salah? Or, being such a spiritual man as ayahuasca, is this just karma? Of course, I think karma's been him ever since he broke up with Dana, but that's just my opinion. Okay, so the Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts and running back Saquon Barkley beat up on the Bungles 37-17. Jalen was 16 of 20, 236 yards, and a TD. Saquon had 22 carries for 108 yards. And the Bungles lose their fourth straight at home. So, any given Sunday, what the fuck happened? We have, I see somebody is joining me here in the queue. How did I know it would be Mr. Scott? Good evening, Mr. Scott, and how are you doing this evening?
Greetings. Doing very good. I just There was a big meeting yesterday about George Floyd Square, and they don't really like me at those meetings, but my son went. And I
Ah,
was going to the meeting, but there were so many cars, it was so packed that I decided to not go. And but from my boy, he gave me a real rundown of the meeting. Very interesting. Very interesting.
well, maybe I need to get your son on on one of my Thursday shows.
That's quite possible. Yeah, he's very passionate about what's going on. He's just like me. They have these ad hoc guys that are actually running what they call George Floyd Square as a sacred place, and they have shut it down for the last 4 years. And now the city has these plans where they're going to see. They keep placating these people. These people are getting paid. They've come from other areas. Some guy named Mississippi, big old tall guy, probably never had a job in his life, and all these people get paid to George. You're in the sacred spot of George Floyd. Uh, they say they're going to redo the streets and they're going to finally let the traffic. See, traffic doesn't go through there. The police don't go to that area anymore. See, so they can sell all the drugs and they can do all the stuff that they want to do, but they're getting paid as interrupters. They're getting paid from the city as interrupters. City's scared of them. Oh, it's people have no idea. People have no idea, James.
Well, like I said, uh, I was I had a program last week where I had different ministers on, and I was trying to get Reverend Christopher on, but he usually has his show on Thursday night. But yeah, I would love to have a show and talk about some of the things. I know, we've gone back and forth about some of the proposals that have been made down there, and we've kind of talked about the role of Mississippi in times past. But yeah, I'd like to for you to get help me get a group of young people and maybe around your son's age, and yeah, we could uh, have a great Thursday night show about that. But uh, I have to mention something between you and I.
Wait, just a minute, just a minute.
Okay, okay.
Hello.
Hey, what's up, cuz?
Well, I'm actually doing my show in San Diego. James, this is Walter J. Trish from Atlanta, Georgia. Walter J. Trish. He thinks he knows about sports, and he just continues to call me, but he doesn't really know.
Well, I mean, if he's from Atlanta, we know he doesn't know too much about basketball. He might know a little bit about baseball. Yeah.
I know a little bit about baseball and basketball.
Let him tell it. Yeah.
Well, I was just calling, 'cause last year this time, y'all lost to Dallas last night. Last year this time, y'all lost to the Hawks. So maybe this is not your time of year.
Well, no, we don't talk about the Hawks. Is not even in. That's not even in any equation. I don't even know why you had the nerve to even bring that up.
The Timberwolves got the same records as the Hawks, though.
Well, it's funny that you bring up records because James King was getting ready to talk about some records of a little transaction we have about football, the Minnesota Vikings and the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Oh yeah, what's the Minnesota Vikings do?
Well, it's something about who's going to have the best record, as I recall. I mean, he's crowing, with what is it, Coach Tomlin? He's just pulling rabbits out of his hat and 4-leaf clovers and getting wins. But
Hey, Lucky Charms.
Oh, he got Eric. What's the real quarterback name?
He got Russell Wilson.
Quarterback.
He got Russell Wilson, but more importantly, he got George Pickens. I'm always open Pickens.
Yeah, George Pickens made some shoestring catches, but the shoestring catches don't always work, So
Well, they work for Justin Jefferson. Well, I don't know they work for Pickens.
Well, because I told you with Donaldson that after they had film on him, they was gonna stop a lot of that stuff he was doing, and that's why y'all lost 2 games in a row.
Well, we lost 2 games in a row. Defense, we got some injuries, and but that's
Everybody got injuries, cuz that's not you can't hold on to injuries.
Well, I'm not holding on to injuries. I'm just saying that's what happened. But we got Indianapolis this week, so we'll be back on track, and so.
Okay. The Dirty Birds on top of their division.
What?
The Dirty Birds on top of their division.
Atlanta's on top.
That quarterback y'all didn't want last year, cousin.
And top of well, that means the division's no good. That's all that means.
That's what that means. Okay.
Y'all need that tight end back. Y'all need Hawkinson back.
Yeah, we need Hawkinson. He'll be back this week.
Yeah.
I think y'all been much better off with Cousin than Donaldson, though.
Yeah, but
talk about that. That's fast.
Well, if you want to give $180 million, that's fine. That's.
Well, y'all gave as much to get him there. Y'all just didn't want to keep him there. And I think he earned the money that y'all gave him too.
Well, I think
y'all won and everything. Your coach just couldn't get past the first game of the playoffs, though.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
I got to the playoffs all the time.
Okay, we appreciate you joining us, Walter Trish from Atlanta. But we're gonna let you go. We've got to move on. We got to go to commercial break. Okay. Well, we'll talk to you.
Okay, cuz I'll talk to you later.
See, this is what I go through. See, this is what I go through. These people that think they know, they don't know, but
So you got Indiana this week. They benched the big boy.
They're going with Flacco. I'm a little worried about that. Yeah.
They're going with Flacco. Joe, you see what Joe did to us. You should be worried. Yeah.
Well, I think we should run him out of the stadium. I think that,
that's what we keep saying. He's old. He can't, we keep saying, they said the same thing. They said the same thing with the Jets, but it looked like the Jets should have kept him too.
Everybody's wishing they had Flacco now. Well, Jameis, what do you think about Jameis?
I was very surprised. I will admit, but also,
to beat Baltimore.
Yeah, and who the hell ever heard of Tillman? I didn't know who the hell he was. I figured, after they traded Amari Cooper, the Jerry Jeudy would get the targets, but Jameis has that different style. He's able to run, and from the looks of things, Jameis is going to get a job somewhere next year. And it might not be with Cleveland. Well, it might be the starting job with Cleveland because either way, they got to pay Mr. Massage.
Yeah.
Either way, whether he's upright or,
Yeah.
So it should be very interesting to see what the Clowns want to do next week. Next season.
This NFL was very tough this week. Arizona, world's tall. I'm not going to call him world's tallest midget no more. I'm going to call him Smurf.
Okay, so we're going to just call him Smurf now.
He's a Smurf.
Okay. So So we got to change our vocabulary. I got him listed as the world's. So now we're just calling him a Smurf. Okay.
He's
Well, I
getting
mean,
the, he's getting the job done. He's getting the job done. I don't know what to say.
well, we can call him Smurf, and he's getting the job done, and we can call the other one ayahuasca, and we don't know what the hell he's going to
Oh
do from
God,
week to week.
ayahuasca is washed. Ayahuasca is washed. I just don't think he has it anymore. I really don't.
See, now I don't know if you watched the Pittsburgh game, but I thought that all his passes were just a little off. Now I don't know whether or not that's because he hasn't, he was too good to play in the preseason and kind of get used to the weapons that he had. But now he has two of his old receivers back from his Green Bay days. He's got Adams back from the Raiders, and we always knew it seemed like Lazard. We knew Lazard was one of his favorite targets. What does that do to Garrett Wilson now, Mr. Scott? Now that he got two of his old boys in the back.
I don't think it does anything for any of them. I mean, I think that the Jets, that's. I mean, I can't see a comeback at this point. They got 6 losses.
Yes.
Yeah, 6 losses. So, in the way they've played, I really don't see any hope that this is going to turn around this year. It just looks like ayahuasca. The ayahuasca hasn't worked, and so it just looks like he's going into the abyss, and then he gets more salty, he gets more. And I think it gets to a point where the people around him, maybe they don't even really want to play for him. I mean, I don't see that he's inspiring anybody to. So I think this looks abysmal. The whole thing looks abysmal to me with the Jets. But I'm really concerned about the Vikings. So that they can win this. This targeted thing against Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's been, they continue with rabbit's foots, horseshoes, 4-leaf clovers, getting wins, but their schedule is going to get really tough. So
after the bye, we start off with the Commanders, and you see what that boy Jalen Daniels has been doing.
Yeah.
So I'm after looking at how much success Daniel Jones had Monday night, I'm kind of a little bit apprehensive of this young boy coming to town that has some real wheels. So that's our first game after the bye, and then our second game is the Ratbirds. Now once again you had this young kid from the Giants. He had 22 carries, 140 some yards, almost 150. Our second game after the bye is against Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
So I'm looking, but if you recall, I said at the beginning of the season, if we could get to the break 6-2. All we had to do was win 5 of our last 9 games. That'd give us 11 wins, and that'd put us in the playoffs.
Oh, that's quite a projection.
Well, no, that's not 5 out of 9. That's the only thing is that 6 of those 9 are against conference, in conference play. So we got 6 of 9. We got 2 games with the Ravens, 2 games with the Clowns, 2 games with the Bungles, 1 game with the Commanders, and then who else do we have to play? I think we have to play the Eagles because we played at the AFC, the NFC North. So I think we have to play the Eagles, and we've already played Kansas City. Uh, so it might be the Seahawks, but I know, like I said, after it doesn't get any better after the break. So if we win 4 games, we're still 10-7, and I think that'll at least get us a wild card. But we need a bye. We need to be one of the division champs. We need a bye. We can't be going up to Buffalo or going out to Kansas City or no. We need a bye. So that's why I'm predicting 5 out of the next 9 we need.
Yeah, that's well, they're able to eke out wins. They're able to pull rabbits out. I mean that's kind of Pittsburgh's modus operandi, and it's and right now I've got my screen is going. I thought the Yankees had this game well in hand, and now all of a sudden it's tied up.
It was
5-5.
5-0.
Yeah, it was 5-0. I thought the game was well in hand. And Giancarlo hit a home run. Judge, I thought, well, this is back to the old Yankees. Now it's 5-5.
Okay. Oh, was it Otani or Freeman or somebody else?
Well, Freeman, Mookie, they just jumped on them, just ganged them.
Well, if you remember, I had asked that question last week. Was it going to be Otani? Was it going to be a Judge or somebody else? All y'all took the field, and so far it's been Freddie Freeman.
It's been Freddie Freeman. Volpe hit the grand slam. They'd have been dead if it wasn't for that. So they was almost dead last night. So it's 5-5. I can't see, what is it, the 5th?
Yeah, I think it's and they're playing in Yankee Stadium.
Yeah, they play in Yankee Stadium.
Yeah. But the Dodgers have already taken one in Yankee Stadium, because I think it's 2-3-2, right?
It's 3-1.
No, yeah, but I'm saying I was talking about.
Oh yeah, 2-3-2. Yeah, that's how it goes.
So the Dodgers have already won one in Yankee Stadium.
Yeah, they have.
So
if they win this one, it's good night, Irene.
Oh yeah. I mean, I was saying, I was hoping to avoid the sweep, but it doesn't matter whether you get, whether it's 4-0 or 4-1 or 5-2. Losers is losers. So, I think the Yankees have dug themselves in a hole that they can't get out. Once again, Judge. The last 2 games, Judge has showed up, but the first 3 games, he was MIA. So, which a long way from Mr. October, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, George Steinbrenner, my great friend, the great Dave Winfield, who Steinbrenner called Mr. May, disparaged the man. But he still got a big bag. So, I mean.
Yeah. I mean, all these guys got, they got generational wealth, but, that was another thing that, what do you think about all these quarterbacks now, throwing 35, 36, 40 passes? We had Cousins the other week, 506 yards. I mean, what do you think? Do you think, that it's the defensive, the offensive coordinators, trying to get as many plays in as possible? Do you think that this is cutting down on the quarterback efficiency?
Well, Brady tended to throw a lot of passes, and sometimes they use the passing game as almost like a running game. With a lot of short passes, and it brings up the numbers. But I don't know. I still think that these quarterbacks, I just think if you go after them, Lawrence Taylor's, Ray, I mean,
Yeah, but not,
they make
but
them
not.
nervous. They get nervous. You know.
But now, Mr. Scott, you got quarterbacks that are getting the ball out of their hands in less than 2 seconds.
Yeah, yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's almost like It's almost a running game as opposed to a passing game. They're just getting rid of the ball. I. It's a smart thing to do. I mean, you can't hold the ball. That's where trouble comes in. Hold the ball too long, looking. Um, I, I'm still shocked that Lamar lost the game to Cleveland.
Well, I would imagine. I would imagine he was too. Did you
Oh,
see the look?
he threw his helmet. He just
Yeah, I was gonna say,
threw it.
did you see his reaction after the game? I mean, I'm sure he was too. But then again, now look on the other side. What did you think about that Chicago and Washington game? Jalen, we have Caleb Williams that drives the ball down the field. When he gets the ball, he takes his team right down the field, gets what he thinks is the winning touchdown. They give the ball to Jaden Daniels. He's got less than a minute. I think was it less than a minute and a half left. He you talk about pulling a rabbit out of his hat. He had to pull a rabbit out of his hat to get in range for him to throw that pass. And then Mr. Scott, the boy got an arm. He got it to the goal line.
Yeah.
And then
And man tipped it to him. Just tipped it to the defensive guy.
yeah, and you Mr. Scott, a lot of things change in football, but high low is basic. You put one man under him, you put another man in the back of the end zone to make sure that nobody gets behind him.
Yeah.
This man was
101. Football
he,
101. Yeah.
he was in the end zone by himself. By himself. 6 guys in front of him. He in the end zone by himself. And they tip it to him. Well, there wasn't nobody else to tip it to. Wasn't nobody behind him to knock the ball down. Wasn't nobody in front of him to even impede his vision.
Well, if you get beat by an onside kick, a Hail Mary, it's not your day. It's just, I think that's all you can say. When it comes down to that, those things are not supposed to work. Okay, that's desperation. That's desperate. Those things are not supposed to work.
But it's just like he drew it up, wasn't it?
But if those things beat you, it's not your day. That's just one of those. It's just not your day, man. It's just like, it comes down to that, and you got the over, and then it's your day. It's just. That's just how the things go, man. And then watching, these baseball games, as I've really kind of been watching them. These umpires, man, they need these, man. And, here. They need these. These calls are so inconsistent. I'll see the same pitch. Man won't move. Same pitch. Oh, I'm waiting to ring him up. This is real. These plate umpires, and maybe it's the speed of the ball. Maybe the movement now is more difficult for them. But I've seen several calls. And watching from TV, I don't know if the angle is the same as they see at the stadium.
Well, now, what do you think about and this is another thing that we talked about, because we got a couple guys on the show that's baseball purists, and there are occasions when you are one of those guys. But what do you think about the automated umpires?
Oh, that's a hard question because I still think as bad as they are, I, I still think the organic way is still the best way. I mean, yeah, you can take your hat off and throw it on the ground and stomp on it, but I mean, I think that's I mean, I think the human element is really what makes the games good. I mean, I saw a TV the
But
other.
Mr. Scott, you got a runner on second base if the score is such and such. I mean, you got come on, man. I mean,
But
who,
it's every sport, James. I mean, I watched a guy on TV yesterday. Man, I can't stand this guy. I tell you, this guy, oh, he just gets on my last nerve. It was Drew Pearson. He's in the Hall of Fame. He's just talking about it. But I watched the game, man. Me and my brother sat there and watched this game on this little 12-inch black and white TV, and he pushed Nate Wright. He pushed the man. He pushed the man down in the end zone, and the ref was standing right there, and looked at it. He pushed the man down, caught the ball, and the Vikings lose, and Dallas goes to the Super Bowl. And now he talks so great about how he and he knows he did it because I've seen another special on NFL where he actually went to the ref's house. He actually went to the ref's house to confirm that he didn't push the man down. And the ref said, well, I didn't really see. And they were in the ref's basement talking about. But that's what I'm saying. In the refereeing, I mean, the man was obvious. Everybody in the stadium saw it. That's when a guy in the stands threw a bottle out of the stands and hit the ref in the head at that game.
Yeah. I mean, So you want to keep that human element in the game, so
Well, no, I mean, yeah, the human element, but the mistakes, the obvious things, no.
Well,
Should have been overturned, but they didn't have no overturn in those days. They didn't have no, and I don't think you can overturn interference, can you? I don't think you can overturn that, can you?
Pass interference?
Yeah.
Yes, you can. Yeah, you can overturn it. You can within the last 2 minutes of the game. I believe it has to come from New York or Central. But yeah, there are certain things that they can't overturn. But speaking of that, was it last week's Chargers game where the man almost takes the helmet off? They get a safety, and the referee standing right there and don't get a call.
The Viking game, man pulled his face mask, turned the man's head all the way around to the back, turned his head around the back. Man standing right there.
That's what I was talking about. Yeah, it was that was the Chargers, right? Wasn't that the Chargers and the Vikings?
No, the Rams.
The Rams and the Vikings. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's the game I'm talking about.
Okay,
Not everybody know I'm not a Vikings fan, but yeah.
Well, we know that. We don't need to even state that. We know that.
But they missed that. They missed that call, Mr. Scott.
Well, the man that I saw in concert, Stevie Wonder, could have seen that one.
Yeah. So, what's up with your Vikings, Mr. Scott? I mean, we see that the offense is what it was with Jefferson. Right now, with the way your season is going, I'm confessing I could probably throw to Jefferson if I could get the ball more than 30 yards down the field. But I thought Donald was going along rather efficiently. Uh, you still might are looking for a steady running game. You've seen flashes of a running game, but right now it seems to be your defense that is kind of falling down. We seen what 30 and 50
Yeah.
in the last two games.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know that I mean that's 80 almost 80 points.
Yeah.
What's going on with your defense there?
Well, we've had some injuries, and like my cousin said, well, injury is part of the game. You can't that. But yeah, we've had some injuries, and well, the big thing with the Vikings, I mean, you have to give credit to the GM, the coach, for even hiring Brian Flores. Brian Flores is suing the league. He has a current lawsuit against the NFL. Most teams would have said, don't touch this guy. Don't touch this guy. But Ziggy Wells, GM, the ownership, O'Donnell said, we want this guy. And so they took him in spite of who else was going to hire somebody that's suing the league? I mean, he's suing the league for discrimination.
Yeah.
This is a current lawsuit.
Yeah, he filed it while he was with the Dolphins.
Yeah. So I mean, I have to give him all the credit in the world for hiring the man, giving him a job because nobody else certainly would. And it's come, is Sam Darnold who we thought he was? This is what this is going to come down to with the Vikings. To me, is Sam Darnold who we thought he was? And that's. We'll see. I mean, they got a tough game coming up with Indianapolis, with Flacco, who seems to have,
He didn't play at everybody. I mean, he didn't play at everybody in every system. I mean, it's hard, to put some out there that he hasn't seen or that he's not going to. If he doesn't recognize it in the first half, he's going to recognize it in the second half.
Yeah, but he has no mobility. So, I mean, they're going to send the kitchen sink after it. They're going to just see what he's got. They're going to send the kitchen. He's immobile. He doesn't have any mobility. And so they're going to blitz the heck out of him. And I think that should run him out of the stadium. I think that's what they want to do. So, well,
is that going to open up for Anthony, not Anthony, Jonathan Taylor?
Well, Jonathan Taylor's a dangerous man. No question about it. He's a dangerous man.
He just gained 100 yards last week.
Yeah, he's a dangerous man. He's had some injuries.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's 100% now. I don't know. He's looked good the last few weeks. But, yeah, he's a dangerous man. No question about it. But if you shut down Flacco, I think that's – I mean, I think if they do that, they should be just fine. I think they should be just fine. And I don't know. Who do your Steelers play this week?
Oh, we got to buy this week.
Oh, you got to buy. Okay.
We got to buy. I told you, but when we come back, we play Washington and the Ravens back to back. I think we Washington, the Ravens, and then the Browns.
I think they should get Washington. I think Washington is probably, at the apex of what they've been able to do. I don't know that they can sustain. They're not going to win their division. I don't think so.
I don't think they're going to win their division. I think they'll make some games interesting, and it just goes to show that, these young rookies are for real, I think, and the Steelers just have not had a lot of success against mobile quarterbacks. Hence Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson. We've had problems against those type of guys.
Well, but their main game to me is defense.
Right.
Their main game. And they're, a young quarterback, defense, that's almost kind of raw meat for them. I hate to say it. I mean, I'm being objective,
But if we tackle like we tackled Monday night on Monday Night Football, I mean, that last drive, uh, I think it was Elliott. The guy caught the ball right beside him. He's as close as I am to this computer, and missed the tackle. How do you do that? I mean, I know like you say, we're going to get some guys back on defense also. So I'm looking to see what they do in the secondary. But Scott, there was another game that kind of made me a little scared, and it's one of your division rivals, and they seem to do well with or without Jordan Love. It seems like the Packers keep rolling along too. I think they won 4 or 5 straight. That's a team you got to look at twice.
Yeah. Well, the whole division does. The whole division does. I mean, them and the Bears, but yeah, the Packers. They got that back, Jacob. They made a change there from Aaron Rodgers, from Aaron Jones, who they thought was a little bit long in the tooth. They didn't come to the Vikings, and that kind of was a message there to let him come to a division rival. Show what they thought of him, and so yeah, they're
Well,
probably it's a problem winning up in Green Bay. It's a big problem winning up.
Yeah, it's good. It's getting ready to be November, December in Green Bay.
Getting ready to get funky in here, man. Sweat a little bit, It's getting ready to get funky. So yeah.
And you got to go to Chicago. That's outside.
Got to go to a windy city.
Well, but y'all both play in the dome, so that kind of balances out.
Well, same with Detroit. The two hot house teams. The hot house, like I was saying, the hot house teams. We'll see. When the wind starts blowing, it's starting right now here. Up here, it was 80 yesterday. I had to drive down to Mankato for a meeting. 80 degrees, beautiful. And what is it now? Tonight, 40, 42, something. And yeah, it's gonna be very interesting. It's gonna be very, very, very interesting. Yeah. The Vikings need this game this week. They've got to beat Indianapolis. I mean, this is really, it's almost like a must win because all the teams in the division are doing well. I think they all only got 2 losses.
Yeah. Except for you and the Lions, y'all the only 2 sitting at 1. Everybody else, I think.
No, I think we got 2. I think we got 2 now.
Yeah, well, you're 5-2. The Packers are 5-2.
Chicago might be 4-2, 4-3, 5-2.
I think that they might be 3-4.
No. They're 4-2, maybe.
Are they 4-2? All right. Well, that means that I know you guys are. They talk about our division, but your division is going to be tough.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. Yeah.
Them 2 outside games. We'll see. We'll see. We have to. I'm curious to see how Caleb Williams adapts to Chicago in the wintertime.
Yeah.
Coming from USC.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
That's another thing, that I'm looking forward to. I know, Mr. Scott, you always accuse me of being a homer, but, I got some serious concerns after that Monday night game. Like I said, you got Daniels throwing for almost 275 yards. You got a young kid running for almost 150. It looked like our defense just got tired in the fourth quarter. Like I said, missed tackles. we were lucky enough for Beanie Bishop to get that third uh, turnover. I mean, uh, the play by J.J. White with the strip, the sack, and the fumble recovery. I mean, come on, like you
Yeah,
said, that might have been the rabbit's foot right there because they were driving.
yeah.
They were driving. So I'm. I, I kind of got one foot on the banana peel, but I'm hoping everything works out.
Well, and then I mean, let's call it like it is. I mean, Russell Wilson is shaky. I mean, that's his performance was very shaky. He was missing passes. He was kind of looking like ayahuasca in certain parts of the game. He really was. So
Yeah, yeah.
and so do you go back to the other guy?
No,
You
we
know,
can't. We can't because he can't throw the ball downfield.
and so Russell Wilson he looked he looked suspect. He looked a little bit suspect. He doesn't have the mobility that he used to have. I
Of
didn't.
course not. You see, he ran twice, and the first time he put the ball on the ground.
Yeah, yeah. So I don't see the mobility that he used to have, which was a big part of his game. So
Would
they're a defensive thing. I mean, that's their whole thing to me.
like I said, we have to get the home field advantage because you saw what happened last year when we traveled to Buffalo. But Mr. Scott, let's talk about some of those teams that we thought were going to have a pretty easy way, but somewhere the 49ers decided that they were going to make this division a close one. They lost another guy. Ayuk is out for the season.
Yeah, yeah.
Hopefully, Debo. Hopefully, he'll be back. He's had that problem with fluid in his lungs. They're saying that possibly they can get McCaffrey back by week 10. But right now, are the 49ers backing their way into the playoffs rather than playing their way into the playoffs? It was a good thing that they were playing Dallas
Oh boy, that's a whole other debacle
on,
there.
on
Jeez.
Sunday night. They had in the Sunday night game. You had Brock Purdy. He ran 8 times for 56 yards. Mr. Scott, the whole Dallas backfield, including Dak, had 16 carries for the same 56 yards.
Pitiful.
Okay,
Pitiful.
did you understand?
Yeah.
16 carries for the same 56 yards that Brock Purdy got in 8. Okay.
Yeah. What shows how San Francisco misses McCaffrey? I mean, really. I mean, he's a little engine that makes it happen. Yeah. I mean, they miss him. The tight end hasn't been his self. He's so San Francisco. McCaffrey, even if he comes back this late in the season, he's not going to be the healthy, outstanding McCaffrey that he was. They missed that. I mean, I tell you that he really made that thing go. I mean, breaking off big runs is a huge thing.
Plus,
And
he
so,
catch the ball out of the
and he
backfield. He was
oh
30%,
yeah,
thirty
great
percent of
back,
the passing game.
great back. No question about it. So I mean, but when I didn't like that Viking game. I knew the Rams. They got Puka Nakua back. They got that
Cooper
other
Cup.
guy, Cooper Cup back, and I said, "This I do not like this." And and Stafford is a good quarterback, so they're going to make a last stand. I mean, I really believe they are going to make a last stand, and that's going to be real interesting. It's going to be real interesting.
What did you think about at the Cowboys.
Well, they're like ayahuasca at this point. They're washed. I mean, God, no running attack whatsoever. I mean, they can't run the ball at all. And so, how is that going to do anything when you can't run the ball at all? I mean, they tried Delvin Cook. They resurrected him. I don't know what happened to him. He just fell off the map. I don't know what happened to him. He's no good.
He must be selling cars somewhere because he ain't on the roster.
He played last week.
Did he play?
Oh, he played. Yeah. 5 carries, 10 yards, something like that.
Well, like I said, the whole backfield only got 56.
They can't run the ball.
So if he got 10 of them, he might. What did he get? 15?
They can't run the ball, and that's not going to help Dak do anything. I mean, he's got CeeDee Lamb. But
well, CD did his thing. He caught 13 of his 17 targets. He had 146 yards, and he had 2 TDs. But
they can't run the ball. I mean, so that's bad news. I mean, I think their season's over. From what I've seen, I don't see they even have no fight. And Mike Zimmer's defense, why would you hire him? That's the only person you could find. I mean, Jerry needs to step down. He needs to step down from the GM duties. He needs to really hire somebody, a football guy that can really man. I mean, they got talent, they got the money, there's no reason for them to be that terrible.
What do you think about this young boy? He's got baptism by fire. That's Drake May. This young kid that's taking over the Pats. He's standing in there. He's taking the licks. I think he's thrown 5 touchdowns in his last 2 games. This time, even though he wasn't able to be on the field, the Pats did beat the Not Yets. But do you see this kid as their future or a stopgap?
I think it's a little too early to tell.
Okay.
I think it's a little bit too early to tell. The future is putting a lot on him. A few more games I'd have to see. And the opponents that they play, I haven't really looked at their schedule a lot in that division. So I don't know. I don't know.
Well, before we start giving our predictions here for next week, I got to ask you what's going on with your Timberwolves. How do they look now? Now that they don't have Mr. Towns, he done took his bag and went to New York. How do you revamp the Timberwolves look? Have you made peace with Mr. Gobert?
Well, what did he get the other night? The last 2 games, he scored in single digits.
Well, you didn't get him to score. That's not his forte.
But I mean, still, you should not be getting 7 points. You played the whole game. I mean, come on.
How many blocks he get?
He probably had about 4 blocks and 7, 8 rebounds. I mean, very just pedestrian performance.
Okay.
Julius Randle, he had a really good game, and then they lost to Dallas. And the funny thing about Dallas, for some reason, when Dallas plays the Timberwolves, Kyrie Irving plays basketball. He don't play hardly against nobody else. He goes and gets 35 against us. I mean, come on. Now you'll see next game he might not even play. He might not. But against us, against us, 35 points. I mean, that is just, So, no, I still would rather have Towns. I just think it gives more versatility to the team. I mean, it's a big team. I mean, when you look at, you got Gobert. Julius Randle is 6'9". Naz Reid, 6'10". McDaniel 6'9". I mean, this is a huge, huge lineup, but they can't shoot like Towns could. None of them guys can shoot like he could. So he added a whole nother dimension to your big man lineup. So I'll see how it goes. And I know him and Edwards really got along great. That was really, they were really looking forward to playing with each other again. And then Edwards, I'm a little worried about because he's got 4 kids. As he's 23 years old with 4 different women, and so this is a huge problem. He needs to strap the thing up, man. He needs to.
Hey, come on now. Will he trying to follow in Will's footsteps?
God, we'll see the next Sean Kemp or whatever. That's what kept him from being a great player. You can't. Yeah, and they just keep coming out of the woodwork. So yeah, I still have to see. I thought they should have just kept Towns. They said the salary and all that, but you got so close last year that they kept that team together. And Rudy played better with them. For some reason, he played better. Julius, I guess it takes time to get together. And then DiVincenzo is a good shooting guard, which was a nice pickup in the trade because Conley, with his almost 40-year-old self, you got to kind of spell him. So I don't know. That was a distressing loss to Dallas. I mean, only 2 guys really scored, Kyrie and Luka, and they couldn't beat them on their home court. So that was a very distressing loss.
Okay, so well, we'll see how things go, especially with like you said, the season just starting. Guys are having to get used to new partners, new faces.
Indiana beat Boston tonight.
Okay.
Boston been beating people like they beat Knicks in the first game by 30.
Hey, but Boston, Boston wants to be the Kansas City of the NBA. We'll see how that works out for them. But let's give our picks here for this week, Mr. Scott, and get out of here. So tomorrow night we got the Texans, and they're traveling to the Jets. They're giving the Jets 1.5 points, and the over-under is 42.
The way these games are going, you almost want to just go the other way. I mean, the way these games are, normally I would just take the Texans and wouldn't even look the other way. Just think it's just done deal. But the way this stuff is going, with all these calls and all these reffings and all this 1.5 and these hooks, points, I'm going to take the Jets.
Okay, you think they're going to break that 5-game losing streak?
I'm going to take the Jets in the over, yeah.
Okay. I'm going to take the Texans and give you that 1.5 points. But I am going to take, I think I'm going to take the over in this. Okay. I'm hoping that it doesn't get to be a shootout, because if it gets to be a shootout, I think you might have the advantage considering that the Texans are down Nico Collins, and they just lost.
Diggs.
They just lost Diggs for the rest of the season with an AC.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, Diggs that's right. So yeah, I'm taking the Jets. Yeah, I mean, the way these games are going, you can't take hardly the favorites. I mean, it's just too crazy.
Okay, well,
Vegas is pulling strings on this stuff.
Okay, well, that's the Thursday night game. So let's go to Sunday. We got Denver going to the Ratbirds. Denver's getting 9 points and the over-under is 45.5.
That's another one now. You look at first glance, it's a no-brainer. You got to take Baltimore. I mean, no-brainer. But I'm going the other way. I'm going the other way. And what was the under and over?
The under-over is 45.5.
Yeah, I'll take the over.
Okay. I will be like you and take the over, but I'm going to. Wow. Denver does have a defense.
Yeah. Yeah, they'll cover that. I think and that
Uh,
coach, I like that coach.
Bo Nix has won 5 in a row. I don't know. And the Ravens' defense isn't what it used to be, but 45.5. I'm going to take the under, and I'm going to stick with the Ratbirds. We have the Dolphins. They're visiting Buffalo. The Dolphins are getting 6, and the over-under is 49. No hook, just 49.
It's kind of high. I would take Buffalo on the under.
I will stick with you on that, I think. Okay. And then we have the Commanders at the Giants. The Commanders are giving the Giants 3.5, and the over-under is 43.5.
I'm taking the Giants in the points. Over.
I'm going to take the Commanders and the over. Then you have the Raiders at the Bungles. The Raiders are getting 7, and the over-under is 46.5.
I don't think the Raiders are that good. I mean, Cincinnati has shown some signs of life. I think I'll take Cincinnati, but the under.
I'm going to follow you on that one. They won't have a lot. He won't have a lot to do here. Okay, we got Dallas giving. Wow, we have Dallas giving the Falcons 3 points, but the over/under is 52.
Oh, God. God. How can I ever take Dallas? I'm going to beat anybody. I mean, I can't take them to beat a Little League team right now. But I mean, I don't like Atlanta.
You don't like Kurt?
No, 5 touchdowns. I guess I have to take Dallas to get well. In the under.
Going to take Dallas in the under. I'm going to take the Falcons in the over. I'm going to take those 3 points. I don't know if Dallas can cover it. Usually, I would say Dallas could cover 3 points on the road, but I'm kind of like you. I don't trust them.
And the game's in Atlanta.
The game is in Atlanta.
Oh, man. Yeah.
You'll be getting plenty of phone calls if that goes the wrong way.
Yeah.
Okay, we got the Chargers at the Clowns. The Clowns are getting 1.5. Over under is 43.5.
I'm going to stick with I want to see another version of it. I got to take the Clowns in the over.
I'm going to take the Clowns and the over also. I want to see more Jameis Winston.
Yeah, I want to see. Yeah, I mean, it looked good last week. He really hit some nice passes.
Yeah. Oh, here's the game of the week, Mr. Scott. The New Orleans Saints are visiting the Carolina Panthers. The Panthers are getting 7.5. And the over-under is 43.5.
Carolina's terrible. I don't like New Orleans, but I think New Orleans playing for pride. I mean, I think that's the only thing they're playing for. It's just pride, and so they're getting 7.5. So I'll take the 7.5.
You
And
taking the Panthers?
yeah, I'll take the Panthers in the 7.
And the over under is 43.5.
Yeah, I'll take that under.
Yeah. The Saints, I know they've lost 5 in a row. I don't see them righting the ship. Spencer Rattler,
Mm-hmm.
it's hard for me to swallow that pill. I'm going to take the Panthers and the points, and I'm going to take the over. I don't see how the Saints can stop anybody, and I don't see how the Panthers are going to stop anybody really. So I'm definitely going to take the over. Okay. We have another a big game here, Mr. Scott. We have the Patriots coming off that fresh victory over the Not Yet. They are getting 3.5 points. The over under is 38, and they're playing Tennessee.
Jeez. I, scratch it. It's off the board. No line.
You know what? I like the way the Patriots are looking. I have no confidence whatsoever in Will Levis. I'm going to take the Patriots, and I'm going to take the over. Okay, we had the Jaguars getting 7.5 points at the Eagles, and the over under is 45.5.
Oh yeah, I'll take the Eagles. I think they're riding the ship. 45.5. I'll probably take the under.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Eagles and the over. Okay, we have Caleb Williams getting 1.5 points. Over under is 44.5, and they're playing at the Smurfs.
See, these are the kind of games that upset your parlay card. These are the kind of games that upset the whole card. So I'm going to take the Bears. I think the Bears are better. And what's the under and over?
44.5.
I'll take it under.
I am going to take the Cardinals. I'm still looking for a breakout game from Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah, but they don't throw to him.
Well, I mean,
they gotta throw to him. They gotta throw him the ball before he can do anything.
Well, that's what I'm hoping, that this is going to be his breakout game. I'm going to take the Cardinals, and I'm going to take the over. I don't think either defense stops anybody. 28 was it 28-27 last week? That's 55 points. I think they're going to stay with that.
It's gonna be cold. It's gonna be pretty cold.
It shouldn't be cold in Arizona. They're playing in Arizona. They're not playing in
Arizona. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Mr. Scott, a division game. The Lions are giving the Packers 3.5, and the over under is 48.5.
Where is it?
It's at the Packers.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Packers at home. We've got to stop the Lions. It's got to be stopped. Demetrius be damned. It's got to be stopped.
Over under. What are you taking? 48.5.
Well, the Lions, they like to run up the score, gadget plays. Beating Patsies. They love to run up the score. I'm gonna take the over.
Yeah, David Montgomery threw a touchdown pass.
Yeah, that was unnecessary. They should have threw a flag on that. That was unnecessary. They didn't need to.
Wasn't that the first? Was that the first or second? That was the first touchdown of the game, wasn't it?
No, I don't think it was. No. They're
I
running up the score on patsies. That people remember that.
you think Dallas was a patsy?
No, that's not who they play.
No, not that's not who they played this week. But Dallas they ran up 50 on Dallas too.
Yeah, Dallas, the way they've been playing, yeah, they can't run the ball. Dallas ain't no good.
What was it, 47-3 or something like that? I forget how bad they beat Dallas. Here's another division game for you, Mr. Scott. We had the Rams getting 1.5. No, excuse me. We had the Rams playing the Seahawks. The Seahawks are getting 1.5, and the over/under is 48.
Well, I like the Rams. I think the Rams are resurgent. I think they're resurgent. I think the Geno Smith administration, wanted to check in with Bo to see what about the Geno Smith administration. I think it's losing votes.
Well, DK Metcalf is out, so they're down at least one wide receiver. Now
Yeah.
they're down to Lockett and Smith Najunga.
Yeah. So I'll take the under.
But they do have Kenneth Walker back. So I'm going to take division games. But I do like Nakua and Cup. I'm going to take the Rams, and I'm going to take the over. All right, Mr. Scott. We got the Colts at the Vikings. The Colts are getting 5. The over-under is 48.5.
Yeah, Vikings over. Yeah. You're going to say that's Homer bet, but I believe they're a better team, and I think they need to get a nice signature type win to show that they're still in this thing for the division. So yeah, perfect team to do, perfect opponent, for that.
Mr. Scott, I'm going to take your Vikings, but I'm going to take it with a disclaimer that I hate voting against Joe Flacco, but I'm going to take your Vikings. I'm going to follow that car, but I think the game is going to be closer than 48.5. 48.5, that's like I keep going back to that Arizona Cardinal game, 28-27, 55 points. And I'm thinking that this could be something like that. I think I'm looking at Flacco at least 2 touchdowns, but I'm also looking at Jefferson with maybe 3 and a rushing touchdown, which would be 6 touchdowns. I'm going to take the Vikings and the under. Okay, Mr. Scott, our last game, Monday Night Football. We got Tampa Bay getting 8.5 points. The over-under is 45.5. And they're playing the undefeated Chiefs.
Ooh. Well, I'll take the points. I mean, I'll take Tampa Bay on the points, but the Chiefs are going to win the game. I mean, that's and what is it? 40 what?
45.5.
Gosh, I just hate taking unders. I don't know why. I don't like them. I just take overs. I've been killing hockey in overs. But it's not hockey, so I mean,
you've been killing us too. You've been doing pretty good with the overs and unders.
Yeah, I'll take the. God, I have to take this one under though.
I'm gonna. I think the Chiefs remain unbeaten, but
They just outpoint people. They
yeah,
just jabs. No knockouts, just jabbing.
yeah. I mean, it did kind of like Larry Holmes first started out. Doop, doop,
Yeah.
yeah. But see, Tampa Bay has no wide receivers. Evans,
Oh yeah, Evans out. Goodwin.
Evans is out, and Goodwin's out for the season.
Yeah.
So they have no wide receivers. They have nobody for Baker to throw to on a consistent basis. So I'm going to take the Chiefs, but I'm going to take the under here. And this will probably be the game where, because the Chiefs don't blow anybody out. Like we say, it's just so if Kansas City if Tampa Bay puts up 14 points, the Chiefs put up 17 points.
Yeah.
They don't put up 40 or 50. They put up just enough to beat the opponent.
Just flurries
Yeah,
here and there.
They put them up on the cross, but they don't give them the spear in the side to get rid of their misery. So I'm gonna take the Chiefs, but I'm gonna take the under.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, Mr. Scott. Well, anything else you want to talk about? I know we got to. What's the score in the World Series? I know you had it up there for a minute.
Yeah, 6-5 Yankees, 7th inning.
Okay. All right. So
but Dodgers got 2 on and 2 out. So
has Ohtani done anything tonight?
No, I don't think he's done anything. Judge hit one out.
Yeah, well, Judge hit one out when they were leading 5-0.
Yeah, he hit one, and then I think Giancarlo hit one out.
Yeah, that's when they were ahead 5-0. So, said Dodgers make Yankees pay for errors. It was tied up. That was at the end of 5.
Yeah, it's in the 7th now. So, but they got to get this guy out because they got 2 on. So this still tenuous. The Yankees, they're out. If they lose, it's done. It's over.
Oh yeah. Definitely about that. Mr. Scott, what did you think about? And I know this is a subject that a lot of Detroit Lions people don't want to talk about. But what do you think about the 2-game suspension for Mr. Williams? And now there's talk of a gun charge being suppressed by the Detroit police. What do you think about that?
I didn't. I saw it happening. I didn't know that he was already suspended.
Yeah, he's suspended for 2 games, but that was for PED use, not but the police are saying that he got away with the gun charge while he was on probation. But it kind of takes me back. Do you remember we talked about was it the kid from Boston? They got caught with the gun and the magazine going through TSA or one of the airport lines with a loaded gun in his luggage. We've seen a lot of sports figures get caught up with guns. We talked about the young kid who was it Trey Young? Getting caught up with guns. You see, I'm of the opinion that if I'm making $3 or $4 million a year, somebody else can carry that gun for me.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it's just me, but I mean, it would seem to me, when these guys go in the strip club, they go in 4 or 5 deep. You know, uh, I just don't see uh, the connection here. I know you can afford a gun, okay, and and you can. I'm sure these aren't little 22s, or I'm sure these are top of the line, but I I don't see the. I guess the need. Like I said, at this stage in my life, I can hire somebody to carry that.
Yeah. I mean, I can see that, but I don't know. It just seems like there must be some degree of paranoia. I mean, so you need to go duck to the store and get something, or you need to go maybe get your little taste, or you need to go, and you have one of these cars that are more, attention grabbing, and the way these people are out there now. I mean, but again, when you have the $1 million, you should have everything you want in your house. You don't need to make no late run to get you a half pint or something. Those kind of days are long gone.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
You call the whatever Oscar, Boy, Bill, Jeeves, uh, Jeffrey, whatever you want to call it.
go get me this.
you know,
Go get me a 18. Give me a 18. I want 18. Something.
whatever it is.
Yeah,
I mean, if I need my shoes tied, I can call somebody.
yeah,
There's a special category at the employment office called personal assistant.
yeah.
Now, what you and they agree to in that contract is up to you. Maybe you on call. My brother's in a situation like that. In his job, he's on call, which means whenever his boss calls, he has to get up out of his wherever he's at and go to where his boss is at. And this is just to play music.
Well, but these cats, see, this whole rap thing is what's done messed up everything. Because then that makes them look, they think it's street cred. I've been arrested, the beast, I had a gun, I mean, it's almost like they seek that kind of shit for whatever reason, which is the stupidest thing you could do. There's no, but it's almost like, with the whole rap thing and the whole, and everybody knows I detest that shit. Everybody knows what my thoughts on that. The rap game.
But these are football players and
Yeah, but see,
baseball.
but see their mentality. See their mentality is in that. Look at the way they dress. All these old shit coming out of their heads. And if I was tackling, boy, that's the first thing I'd do. I pull that shit, pull it out. And then tattoos all over the body, the teeth. Can't talk worth nothing. Got a lisp and can't really talk. Tied tongue Negroes can't talk. That's the persona that they want to pursue. That's the persona that they're looking. They've been programmed to do this foolishness. And I wish Brother Roar, I could talk to him about, because see, maybe he'll set me straight. Maybe Brother War would set me straight. I don't know. But that's how I see it. And that's why they continue to gravitate to that foolishness. There was a guy in the Vikings with Malik Beasley, good ball player.
Yes.
Good ball player, man. He out there in Minnetonka where the white folks live. That's where the rich, kind of folks go. and somebody came. He had a rented house, and so the people that own the house, had it on the market, and somebody came out to look at the house. He thought somebody was coming there. He pulls a shotgun out on them. He pulls a gun out on the people. Police call. You know. Now, what? Why in the world would he have to pull a gun out? Because he got all kind of weed and all kinds of shit in there. Which, fine. I mean, that's what you want to do. But
Is that legal in Minnesota?
well, at the time, yeah, it's legal. I mean, that's a whole another thing that's upset the apple cart. Is it or isn't it? You know, can you buy? They're saying no, you can't really do it until 2025. You can't go to the store and buy, but people are doing it. Been doing it for as long as I've been alive. They've been doing it.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, these cats, they want to have this persona of these rap people. They want to have this persona, and I think that's the problem. What I see.
Well,
But I know you might subscribe to it. I mean, I know you. Sometimes you have your head turned around, and I know you kind of talk a little gobbledygook. I mean,
yeah, but see, I talk that gobbledygook that you can understand because mine come from the 70s and 80s, and it's a whole lot different. We didn't blow up the school because we didn't like Johnny. It was, you might go and kick Johnny's ass or something like that.
yeah.
Guys that carried guns back in my day was called cowards until you got old enough to, then it was a different,
And I don't know how it is in San Diego, but here we have kids 10, 11, 12 years old carjacking people.
Oh, hey,
driving around with guns and all kinds of shit, and they say they can't do nothing to them because they're kids.
Yeah, well, I mean,
again, where is the parents? They don't hold them accountable at all. Parents say, "Oh, we need help." Well, you shouldn't have had the damn kids then if you don't know how to raise them.
Well, I want you and if you can get young brother, we can do a Thursday night show and talk about what's happening with George Floyd Square, and I'm pretty sure I can get brother Williams on. Just let me know.
Yeah.
Because I really want to. I'm one of the ones that was kind of hard on y'all about that George Floyd situation, and I'm still wondering, why, if you know all the players, and you've been talking about Mississippi for years, so I know that this guy has, like you said, become the leader down there. I think when Candace Scott came to Minneapolis, I think this was one of the guys that she interviewed to, show the I guess the misworkings of the the Minneapolis Police Department. And
well, wait a minute, who's Candace Scott?
Was the radical black young Republican girl?
Candace Owens?
Candace Owens, I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't know why I called her Candace Scott. Candace Scott plays basketball. That's right. But so I would like, to see, what the people that have actually gone through and had to deal with this situation since the Scott incident. I wouldn't mind seeing, like I'd said many times, I wouldn't mind seeing something in tribute to the Scott family. But I also think that when you had the carpetbaggers there, what's his name, the attorney and all of them that came there, to see about the family, and all of them people got money and left, and left you guys with the problem. So I definitely like to talk about it. If we can arrange that, maybe the first thing after the election. Your governor might be the vice president. We'll see if maybe there is some type of presence there that will appease everyone. But Mr. Scott, give us your final thoughts for the evening, and let's go home.
Yeah, no, I'm just checking out the sports things, getting ready for the wind blowing here. It's 80 degrees yesterday and 50 degrees colder today, and so I'm just trying to kind of keep going, doing my little work. We're finishing our documentary. I'm putting together some what I want to do with the documentary is I want to have a CD. What do they call it? That goes along with the soundtrack CD that
Okay.
goes along with the documentary. Some of it will be some of the songs my brother did. He used to play in bands with Prince's bass player Brown Mark. They all grew up together. They had a band in junior high school, and Mark's mother was the manager, and she had a van. And these kids are in junior high school, and Prince was around there. I used to come watch him play, and so I want to put this little CD together, a soundtrack to go along with our documentary, which we've already interviewed. All the interviews are done. We interviewed like Steve Winfield, Dave Winfield's brother. And my brother played baseball with him. He was a coach in college. So, we're just working on my nonprofit stuff right now, and hoping to get that done. We've got some release coming up in the spring. So hopefully we'll have all that done. We got the rest of the money, so we should be good to go on that. And then just, waiting to see what's going to happen. Can Kamala take this thing to the finish line? That's kind of the next wave. I don't know. I really don't know, because I don't think anybody had any inclination when she was vice president that she would be up for president. I think that this was an emergency type situation, and I don't know that the votes, how they could go for the other guy, I really don't know. I see nothing there at all. I don't see any programs. I don't see any.
Well, he has a concept.
Which is,
Well, that's all. He has a concept.
and he's trying to get the Mexican, Hispanic people, they want to vote, but then he says he wants them out of here, that their country is trash.
Well,
Don't allow it. It's garbage.
they just said that. Well, Mr. Scott, you getting the programs mixed up now. We got it. All you got to do is start talking about that guy, and I'll go on for the rest of the night. So no, let's hopefully Dave will get our picks in, and right now things haven't changed. It's still 7-6. It's the top of the eighth.
No, 6-5. 6-5.
6-5. Okay, yeah, 6-5, top of the eighth.
Oh boy, and I think the Dodgers just got a guy on.
Dodgers got two guys on. They got guys on
first and second. Yeah,
first and
no
second,
outs.
no outs.
No outs. Oh man, this is so okay.
All right. Well, on that, I'll see you next week, and hopefully we'll find out. That'll be the day after the election. So
yeah. So we should know where know who the winner is, where we stand.
And
there's going to be a lot of shakedown here, because if Walz gets it, the lieutenant governor, who's a Native American, she'll be the governor.
Okay.
And my neighbor's son-in-law, the guy live right across the street, he'll be the lieutenant governor because he's married to his daughter.
Oh, okay. Well,
Brother. Yeah. So, and I know him. So, I don't know. Maybe might be some kind of cabinet for me. I don't know. I don't know. I don't aspire to that. But
but maybe you can get something done about the George Floyd situation, though, being that close.
well, but they're gonna have, they have to come with this, for me, they gotta come with some of this, So.
All right, Mr. Scott.
All
It's
right.
good talking to you. I'll see you next week. You have a good one.
Thanks for the Stevie Wonder ticket, man. It was very enjoyable, man. It was really a real surprise when I got there. They just like rolled the red carpet out for me. Oh, sir, we have.
You're supposed to keep all that under your hat. I'm just a podcaster, Mr. Scott. Come on now, you be giving away my secrets here.
Yeah, I can't do that. So yeah, but anyway, thank you.
But I'm glad you enjoyed it. I mean, it was just something I felt I could, I know how much you like rappers, so I figured I'd give you a taste of one of the original rappers.
The anti-rappers. Yeah, that
was. Did you see a kid around there that looked like he needed a haircut? Had his hair all over the place and everything. Looked like Sideshow Bob.
I don't think so.
Had a big old afro.
Did he play an instrument?
Well, he usually came out and tuned Stevie's stuff up. That's my little brother.
Oh wow!
That's so
Wow.
I use
I did see. Is he tall?
Yep, he's tall.
Yeah, he came in. I saw him come when the break came. So Stevie took a break, and he came and let him off the stage.
Yeah, that's him.
And then this girl, man, I tell you, this girl was out of sight, man. She was a second coming of Minnie Riperton. I mean, her voice was unbelievable. Beautiful little sister.
A blind man finds a nut everywhere he goes. I don't know how but I'm glad you enjoyed that, Mr. Scott, and just remember that when I come to Minneapolis now, I don't want you sending me down on the square, tell me with a sleeping bag, So
I got you covered.
All right, Mr. Scott, you have a great weekend. I'll talk to you next week.
All right, man.
All right, everybody. That was a good show. Glad to talk things over with Mr. Scott. Looking forward to having our next show next week. Some of the guys will be back on. So have a great night. Talk to you next week.